Hey everybody, so Life Lesson Friday for May 3rd, 2024, the first weekend of May. You know, it's interesting how just, if you actually stop and think about it, time just keeps ticking, right? We can try all these things to slow it down, but it just keeps ticking. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is dealing with nervousness. And this is top of mind for me this weekend, and this as we get into the state track meet at the high school level here in Texas, which I know a lot of people are doing that around the nation in their state. And this weekend and next weekend, I have several athletes that I private coach that are participating in their state meets, and some of them are they're showing their nerves, and I can see that. Some of them are hiding their nerves, right? And we deal with nerves in different ways. We deal with nervousness in different ways, and a lot of times it depends. It manifests itself based on how much we really want what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and a lot of times it manifests itself based on how prepared or unprepared we are for that accomplishment that we're trying to reach. And so one of the things that I always tell my athletes, anybody that's doing a presentation, speaking in front of a crowd, things that typically we associate with nerves, performance nerves, is that internally, research has shown internally, your body reacts. It's the same chemical reaction at the cellular level from nervousness and excitement. It's the same thing. So you can go into it excited and you can take control of the narrative, or you can go into it nervous and let that fear and that anxiety of the potential that you might not perform well take over. So I always say, twist the narrative in your head. Be excited about the opportunity to show what you are able to do, right? If you're doing a presentation, you're speaking in front of people. Most of the time when you're speaking in front of people, take out the speech class, right? Because obviously if you're in speech class, you're getting graded for it, and that's what they're looking at. But if you're giving a speech or you're giving a presentation in front of people for work, because somebody asked you to, because of your story's motivating, you win an award, any of those kinds of things, those people want to hear from you, your authentic self, your knowledge base, and they wouldn't ask you to do that if they didn't believe that you were worthy of speaking in front of them, right? So instead of being nervous about, am I going to make a mistake? Am I going to say something wrong? Is something going to be messed up? Or am I going to look stupid because somebody out there knows more than me? Well, if you're the expert, if you're the award winner, if you're the one that did the research on the presentation you're giving, then it doesn't matter if somebody out there actually does know more than you, because you're presenting on what you have studied and corrected and prepared for. And so the nerves should come in if you haven't studied and prepared and you don't know your stuff. Then of course you're going to be nervous because somebody's going to call you out. You're going to stumble on your words. You didn't practice it, those types of things. My athletes, when I tell them they're going into state, and they're like, oh, I'm a little nervous about it. I'm like, okay, well, have you not been prepared? We've done workouts. We've prepared you for these exact situations, right? So lean on your preparation. And if your preparation is solid, then you shouldn't have to be dealing with massive nerves and anxiety and fear. Is nervousness a reaction that's going to happen? Sure. And I've heard several people, including myself, that have said this in an athletic performance standpoint, is when I'm not nervous, I'm a little bit worried. Like, why am I not nervous? Why am I not feeling that feeling a little bit, right? And but when I feel those nerves coming, I always try and switch it to, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see what I can do today. It may not be your best. It'll be your best that day. It may not be your best over your lifetime. But if you perform like you've been training, if you perform like you've been preparing, then you're going to give the best that you can that day. And that's all that any of us can ask for. And so when we deal with nerves, it shouldn't be looking at it from the standpoint of, am I going to be the best that I ever have been every single day? It's impossible. You can't do it. Like, you can't do it. So can you be the best that you can be on that day? And when you look at it that way, that's another way of dealing with those nerves. And when you get up into that situation of like, I'm about to go do this thing that I'm nervous about doing. Okay, well, am I prepared to be the best that I can be today? If that's it, then let's just be excited about doing whatever it is that we're doing, right? And go out there and try and have fun doing it. So if you also look at it from that standpoint, go out there and try and have fun doing whatever it is that you're prepared to do, speaking in front of people, right? Doing something athletic from a performance standpoint. Don't forget to have fun. Because when you also think, okay, I'm going to be excited and I'm going to go have fun, it's really hard to be nervous. It's really hard to get caught up on the fact that you might mess up on something. And I've heard dozens of the top speakers in the world, people that get paid multiple tens of thousands of dollars to do a speaking event. And they will tell you that they almost always mess up at least once. They almost always make a mistake in their speech. In either what they want to say, they stumble on their words, they lose track of what they're saying. Like, everybody does it. So there is no perfect speech. And putting that pressure on yourself drives the nerves up, right? So take the pressure off, change the nerves to excitement, and go out there and have fun.